Ish Prabhu can give his millions away. And that's why this particular devotee that I know who's giving money like that, not attached to it. That's why. They're not attached to it. That's why they can give thousands and millions like that. And that's really, when you really analyze such devotees, you understand that they are on a platform that is alien to us. Would you be able to part with your money in your bank account if I say, Prabhu, can I have all the money in your bank account? You'd probably say no. Be honest. You'll say, I'll keep this, it's for my education, or it's for my, Because we have attachment, it's fine. We are in different stages of progress of bhakti. So no, there's no judgment, obviously. Nobody's saying anything. But it just means that we have ways to go before we reach that platform. There's some work to be done. And we can do it, by the way. We are on different stages. So everybody has a different level. Now, so I've got here a reference here. Devotees who worship Krishna, they get the opulences. Let me just go back. Sorry, I just... okay, sorry about that. Opulences are given to those people who are devotees. I've saved it another way. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this is in Canto 7, Chapter 10, Text 4. The translation. Otherwise, O my Lord, O Supreme Instructor of the entire world, you are so kind to your devotee that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial to him. On the other hand, one who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be your pure devotee. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit. So, that brings us to that one reason why devotees come to Krishna. There are 4 reasons, right? There are 4 reasons why devotees come to Krishna. One is what? Distress. The other one is education. They want some philosophy. Some third one, curiosity. They're curious. What's the 4th one? Yes? Money, wealth, yes. So there is a technicality here. My guru says, any reason you come to Krishna conscious is fine. So any reason, hook or by crook, even if you are greedy, you come. But if you, later on, if you ask for money in exchange for your devotional service, now that's not good. So that is what is being described here, that there cannot be a pure devotee. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service. So we cannot make a profit. Now there is some... actually, in that respect, we get this guidance from our guru. So I'm going to give an example. We were in Govardhan Parikrama in India. And I was discussing this with Mataji last night even. India, we were doing the Parikrama at Govardhan. When you go to Govardhan, then for those of us who have already been there, you know what I'm talking about. There are some stones there. And what you do is, many devotees have done it. They build a house. A little house. You know about that one? Have you done it? There are little rocks. You stay in the pathway and you pick up the stones and then you build a little house or build like a house. So that signifies that you want an abode in the spiritual world. And your desires will be fulfilled in that sense that you have a home in the spiritual world, back to Godhead. So we were there and the devotees were there and disciples of Bir Krishna Maharaj were there. And I was there too. And they all started collecting the stones to build their own houses. And my spiritual master looked at me and goes, "You are making the house, make a small one." And I was like, they're making big houses for themselves. I told this Mataji and she burst out laughing because I was told, make a small house. Straight away. I was like, So I did build a tiny house, a small one. Why did he do that? Any guesses? He was protecting me. Because if I ended up with a big house, I would easily get distracted from my path. It is possible. I'm not saying I have those qualities, but we need to have a spiritual master who looks out for you and who protects you from protects you from straying from the path. So not too much opulence, not too much of this, not too much of that. So I ended up building a little house, and I was looking at my guru for approval. Is that big enough or is that small enough? Actually, is that small enough? So this is what is meant. We should not ask for profit for devotional service. Just because, I'm a devotee doesn't mean I should ask for something that is not really necessary for someone like me. And on the other hand, the same guru, I've attended the program with this devotee Mataji, and he looked, she has a big house, and he said, no, this house is too small. You need a bigger one. She already had a big house. Just recently it happened. No, this house is too small. You need a bigger one. Get a bigger one. Why? Because that big house is going to have programs in there. Devotees are going to be nurtured. And there'll be preaching going on. And people are going to be delivered. So it depends on the reason. So I found that really funny. So it is sometimes found that one comes to a devotee or a temple of the Lord just to get some material benefit. Such a person is described here as mercantile man. Bhagavad Gita speaks of artho jignasur artharthi. The word artha refers to one who is physically distressed. Artharthi refers to one who is in need of money. Such persons are forced to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead for mitigation of their distress or to get some money by the benediction of the Lord. So, but when a pure devotee receives material opulences, this is not because of his pious activity. Now, this is directly from the Srimad Bhagavatam purport. When a pure devotee receives material opulences, this is not because of his pious activity, but for the service of the Lord. When one engages in devotional service, one is automatically pious. So that is what we were talking about. We need to describe what piety is, what pious is. It says here, when one engages in devotional service, one is automatically pious. So that is the reason I wanted to talk about it, because there are always questions. When our guru is speaking in classes, they say, well, what do we do with our money? How much of it should we contribute? So we have a general rule of thumb, right? What's the percentage that we should contribute? We keep certain 25% of quota, and 50% we give it, and for children, and then for household, something like that. We have a general rule of thumb. But we really need to give some to to Krishna. So that is devotional service. Now, some good news, because I'm saying that give all your money and be humble and all that. But Krishna, there is an example there that Krishna gives somebody so much and they weren't even asking for it. Who's that? Sudama, yes, that's one. He was actually, he had done something to deserve that kind of, he had taken Lord Krishna's share of prasadam or bhoga, so he had to pay back for it. But when he went there to Lord Krishna's kingdom, he was so humble and ashamed, he never even asked. He never even asked for opulences. But when he went back home, he couldn't even recognize his own house and his wife. Everything was opulent. He got everything. That's one. Another one is Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv wanted to just sit on the lap of his father because his stepmother had pushed him away. But not only that, he wanted something that was bigger than his father's, the kingdom. He was there for material gain. He really was. And Krishna just gave it. But when he saw Krishna, that's another point actually. We might come, like say that I came to Krishna for money, greedy. And that was my initial objective, right, reason. But in association of Krishna, I'd forget that I ever wanted this much money. I forget. So when Dhruv saw Krishna, I said, I was looking for pieces of glass when I've got the precious jewel. So as soon as you see Krishna, you will kind of forget that you were looking for pieces of glass, material. So Dhruv said to Krishna, Dhruv Maharaj, I don't want it anymore. I saw you, I'm happy. But what did Krishna do? He gave him an entire planet. He got an entire planet. So the whole point is that Krishna does give to his devotees. So then, the question is, which I placed to you this morning, is do you feel that you should go to Krishna for money? Why, he's Krishna. You can talk to him for anything. You can ask him for anything. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I was reading in this Srimad Bhagavatam. It says in there, yes, you can go to Krishna for money. Why? Because that will mean you don't go to demigods for money. Either way, you'll want money, right? So it's better you go to Krishna for money than to demigods. Because the benedictions given by demigods is temporary. It's temporary. And there is strings attached to it. So you'd have to pay back at a certain time. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam it is written there that it's better you go to Krishna for material opulence than to demigods. And whatever opulence Krishna gives is lasting. Of course, this life is temporary. So you will not get it for long, for only 100 years. But hopefully you can leave it behind. So that's material opulence. Let me see if I can find anything else that is of interest. How about Lakshmi Devi? Can we just worship Lakshmi Devi for money? We can, but it's better, our Guru says, that whenever we worship Lakshmi Devi, we should and must worship her with Lord Narayan. Not alone. So we have these rituals in Diwali where we have Lakshmi Puja, but really the reason why we worship Lakshmi Devi with Narayan is that they are together. We cannot worship one and not worship the other. In that same respect, we cannot worship Radharani without Krishna. And the reason was that if we worship only Radharani, then we get spiritual problems later on in life. We are not balanced. So Lakshmi Devi, she is always with Lord Narayan. And it's better that we worship them together. Then we are balanced. Okay, so I will not take much more of your time. That was opulence. The whole point of this is devotion. As when you become a devotee, you will automatically be opulent. But when you reach a pure stage, you will not even care a fig for those material opulences. That's the whole point. And coming to the temple on the basis that you want wealth, that's a good thing. But later on in association, you'll forget about that too. And if you get to Arjun's stage, you will not even want your kingdom or anything. So that is the stage of opulence. Now here, Kardama Muni has developed all these opulences to please his wife, but he's not attached to it. Not at all. But he was able to produce all that just simply because he was pious and such a high and pure devotee. So hopefully we have discussed, this topic was a little bit tricky because it had just described opulences and it was very descriptive, but I thought I'd talk about opulences and how we can apply our opulence in devotional service and what our attitude should be to those who have contributed immensely to our movement. Even though we could be like the spider, we are still looked at with equality and fairness, obviously. But still, our attitude should be towards those who have given selflessly. We should offer obeisances. They deserve full respect, because they'll be responsible for delivering so many souls. And our gurus are extremely pleased with such devotees, extremely. So thank you very much. I've got to get to work, so no questions, but enjoy your day. Thank you for listening. Srimad Bhagavatam Puran ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai.